is Matt for AVNation.tv. We are here in the Crestron booth at ISE 2019 in Amsterdam. I'm here with Nick. Nick, how you doing, buddy?
Doing great, Matt. Good to see you again.
Good to see you. We go back a ways. We've had some fun times.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about NVX.
Yep.
This has been a huge market product for you. It's been around now for what, a year and a bit?
Yeah, a year and a half, and we've sold over 120,000 units to this point.
It's fantastic.
Incredibly successful AV over IP product. We really took the decade of digital media experience we had and then baked it into a network-based solution without making any sacrifices. As you know, it's the only 1 gigabit solution that really supports all the video formats out there.
Let's talk about that for a second, because there's been obviously a lot of debate over 1 gig versus 10 gig. What you can do in one,
Right.
what you may or may not need 10 for, what you can't do in one. You guys have always been fantastic from a video standpoint.
Sure.
It's very hard to determine or see any major issue
Right.
on video.
Right.
But where it comes up occasionally, potentially, is in spreadsheets and in static images where there can be some deterioration, we'll say, or
Yeah.
we'll call it.
Well, first generation NVX is running on the right here, and it runs JPEG 2000 codec.
Yep.
Unbelievable in the cinema industry, unbelievable video performance. But to your point, when we go into highly complicated images, so very dense detail images,
Right.
what we sometimes have difficulties with, you'll see here in the trees, from the camera's perspective, you probably can't tell.
No,
but when you get up really
I can
close,
see it.
you can see it.
It's a little blurry.
You can see it.
Yeah, it's a
so
little
what
blurry.
we did is we worked with Intipix and we recreated and developed our own codec together.
Okay.
And this new codec solves this problem. But let's really make the problem drastic.
Yeah.
To make it
That's
drastic,
the
you look
one.
at it one here with this the quick brown fox that jumped over the lazy dog.
Yes.
And what happens is when we get these weird color combinations, JPEG 2000, because of the way it segments the image, it starts to have difficulty separating it.
Right.
Now what I want you to do is step to your left here and look over, and this is the new pixel perfect processing
Version
of the
2.
NVX 2.0.
Yep, 2.0. It does not have that same, issue.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
It's so good, in fact, we're now comparing it to PC Direct. So if I go to a Direct from this PC right here, HDMI into this display, versus this DMNVX traversing, thousands of meters of network cable,
Yep.
no discernible difference between the two of them from an image quality standpoint.
No, it's you can't tell. There's
Absolutely.
no difference.
The other beauty of it too is that when you look at it from a latency standpoint, I can move the screen around and both move simultaneously. There's no difference between the
crazy.
HDMI and this thing. So 1 gigabit, flawless performance, no latency. I think the debate's over.
So let's talk about this for a second. What made you continue to advance this product?
Yeah.
A lot of times people will run out of product. It might have some minor little tweaky issues or whatever, but that's okay because everything else it does, the majority of what it does is good. You didn't just wait for the next iteration. You really enhanced the existing hardware. Why did you make that decision to do that and really evolve it the way it sits?
As I think an industry leader, there's two approaches you can take. You can sit back and celebrate all the units you've sold, or you can take the approach of you have to continually displace yourself. And that's always been the Crestron philosophy.
Right.
We've always been pushing the envelope of whether it was moving devices to the network, the analog to digital, the analog sunset, and now this AV over IP market. Once we entered it, we knew that we had to be best at it, and so we continue to make these enhancements. And by the way, you haven't asked me the best question yet.
What's the best question?
How much does it cost?
How much does it cost?
It's free for the 120,000 units that are out there.
That's fantastic.
This is a firmware update to your existing system.
Okay.
Tomorrow you can start to have this flawless performance.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So has it changed the price of units selling brand new off the shelf?
Good question. No. So this 350 units, they're quite kind of flagship units, been shipping for a year and a half. Same price. I'll mention this though, we've just introduced two new pieces of hardware, the E30 and D30.
Okay.
So with the 350, another unique aspect, it's both an encoder and a decoder.
Right.
You can flip it between modes.
Yeah.
But you also pay a little bit of a premium for that. Also, it's a UPoE device.
Okay.
We knew from the market that people wanted a lower cost and they wanted a PoE plus. So we've launched that here at ISE 2019. We've got the E30 and D30, which is a 30% cost savings, and it's
fantastic.
PoE plus, so it's a little bit easier on that network installation.
That's fantastic. Last question I had for you.
Yep.
Obviously, when it first debuted, worked on standard 1 gig switches. Obviously, that is most likely still the case, I'm assuming. Is it still going to work on, pretty much any true enterprise switch, or will it work on, that mid-range switch level?
You really do. I mean, we have a set of requirements that it needs to support. What we've found is that any company that's out there using a switch, it's really going to be compatible with.
Okay.
You know, if somebody does happen to have a 10 gigabit infrastructure, if they have fiber, we make adapters. It'll still work. We're going to be way under the bandwidth requirements, but that's great. You know, it's compatible with those systems. So it works with all the devices out there, the security settings, layer 3, and also we talk a lot about video. We're routing audio, USB 2.0, and control over the same network, and you can independently route those streams.
Right.
Gives you the ultimate flexibility from a technology standpoint.
I did see some, it wasn't a demo, but we were in the booth as they were building it, and some of the techs were showing that they were videoing, like they were gaming over top of this with the local USB. Yeah. Fantastic, zero latency. It looked awesome. Yeah. It's fantastic.
You know, it opens up so many new applications. It's been one of the really exciting parts for me, being a little bit more customer facing, is what we've watched happen is as we've moved from this like fixed digital media architecture, right?
Yep.
16 in, 16 outs, that's what you've got to work with, to now this kind of asymmetrical, variable, flexible architecture where I can have an infinite number of devices on the network and they're communicating more than just video and audio. How it's changed the way customers start to apply it to their situations. As an example, video game companies are taking the devices that they're developing games for and putting them back in data centers.
Right.
As an engineer at my desk, I have a USB controller. I choose which device I want to use. Because there's no latency, because we've got they're actually able to do development on devices that are remote. They can select different devices, switch over. It really changes the way they think about their resourcing, and it's having a big impact on customers.
That's fantastic. All right, so if people want to find out more information about NVX version 2, as well as the whole suite of Crestron products, where can they do that?
Now, of course, Crestron.com. If you do a /NVX on the back of that, you're going to go right to the microsite. We've got all the videos, we've got all the explanations, the imagery, we break down everything, and it's a great resource to go find out more.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much, Nick. Appreciate your time.
Great seeing you.
For more footage from the show floor and to learn more about AVNation, please visit avnation.tv. That's avnation.tv.